Okay, so I've tweaked my setup a little bit from before, and I've also put water in the bowl, submerged the crystals, so now you'll see cymatic patterns forming. Might actually just turn the kitchen light on so you can see better, hopefully. Wait, wrong switch. Yeah, that's a bit better. All right. See the water start to move, tune with the sound waves. I'll zoom right into the bowl for you. Just a little bit further out. Now just look at that, I haven't even started making a lot of noise or using a lot of techniques, but you can see how the circular motion of the sound waves creates a rippled whirlpool. So now I'll start alternating and you can see it change, start to form kind of a square, more square-like inference, which is what happens when you get waves meeting waves. I'll just reposition these stones a little bit. This is something I learned from a singing bowl class that was run by a Tibetan guy who had long dreadlocks like me. And he showed me all kinds of cool things with water and singing bowls and directing the energy. So it's something that I haven't played around with much, but I'm getting right into resonance in a bunch of different areas. So I think this is a really cool way to show the basic principles of how you can see the structure of sound. I'll just let that water still up again. Something in there, don't know what that is. A bit of dust or something. Not that it really matters. You ever realize how hard it is to get things out of water because it's like your field displaces the surface properties of the water that's flowing next to you. So doing that, I let it slide onto my finger and go through that little zone of water that repels it if you're moving quickly. Anyway, let's have a look at some resonance. Cymatic patterns. So the reason my bowl isn't moving anymore is because I've used blue tack on a plastic ring, just 3 little points of blue tack making a triangle. Gives it a very stable base. I've also got a couple of crystals in the cavity between the plastic ring and the bowl, so they're being resonated on directly, and I'm hoping they're touching it just slightly. Not sure. Tried to find the right size crystals for that. You see how easily you can change the direction, and this is what I guess magic is all about. It's having control over intentional fields that you create by layering resonance and building it. So let's see what kind of cool stuff we can get. Bigger bowls will make the water jump, or maybe different water levels. But this one makes a really nice square and circular kind of vortexes in the water. I think the water level affects its max resonance. Seems very hard to sustain that high order right there. But the backwards and forwards technique seems to get around the problem. I'd say this is the natural way to open a portal to a higher dimensional energy. That might not be physically observable, but dimensional structures being what they are and sound being what it is, here we have stronger resonance through a circular form. That's what's implied by studying portal phenomena, or vortex phenomena if you like. So we're building the bottom part of the vortex, and there'll be an intersection point where it connects to the non-physical top half of the same structure we're creating physically. So if we can communicate through that, it might be a method to retaining connection with a higher dimension, or encouraging stronger manifestations from higher dimensional reality into lower dimensional reality where we dwell. Physicality and non-physicality, if you like. You can hear that popping if we listen really close. Sound of the crystals resonating. But you can see the inference of things like pentagrams in the structure of the water, other platonic solids. I think people used to know how to use this energy a lot more than they do today. It's kind of like creating the processes of electricity, current, without knowing how to harness it into circuitry. And here we have that same raw energy output created by the dynamo action of my hand. But we don't know exactly how to build resonance machines the way that maybe we once did. But it's an interesting field. I'm wondering if I can get that ringing to happen for one entire pass, one entire revolution. Really nice sustained tones by holding the resonance structure with the passage of the stick. You can see that creates really strong cymatic form. If we apply things like Fibonacci sequencing, or things that Tesla talked about, integers and how they relate, might see some interesting cymatic laws at play. Very turbulent effect on the water surface. I mean, if you think about how we use radio frequency to create this medium within the frequency so that we can see it, like dropping metal around the magnetic field, metal shavings. It's like you can see how even in times of like medieval times, if you could create a static resonance, if you like, on the surface of the water, it would be easy to infer things through that, and create the notion of scrying, looking at distant places through a bowl of water. Other connected ideas. Getting the sound to reverse at key points always seems to help the next resonance cycle up. And we can press a little bit harder or move a little bit quicker and see serious wave structure now. So this is the sun and the moon traveling over the earth, creating the currents of wind and water. It's a very simple reality we live in, but they like to complicate it by saying you can't interact with the same forces that are governing everything. But you know, they'll just call it New Age hocus pocus, or the religious denialism of how this must all be evil knowledge. It's all conflating the truth of the fact that you are cellular resonance. Your circular structures creating cymatic patterns in order for you to live. So this is natural science. Reminds me of a dial-up telephone, the way you go all the way around at max resonance and it hits that ringer point, and you spiral back. But of course this is just one type of singing bowl in one frequency range. So I'd like to get a full set. It's a chakra set, and then more of them, bigger sizes, but man, they get expensive, and they're handmade if they're really nice. So how did Moses part the Red Sea? Maybe he used sound.